Hey guys, how's it going? It is your boy, Manga Man Drew, and I'm here to do my manga reaction to Dr. Stone, manga chapter 226. And if you remember what happened last chapter, we just had this wonderful moment of Ryusui doing a barrel roll in a spaceship, finally connecting the spaceship together. We got to see the spaceship, for the most part, come together. We got 4 parts. Now we're going to eventually have 5. Also, a malfunction on the ship, which prevents it from really being able to connect themselves together properly without help. So, it's going to be very interesting to see where we're going in this story. But before we get more into the reaction, I'd like to ask you, if you haven't done so, to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I like to react to Dr. Stone, and if you like to see my reactions, subscribe. So with that, let's go right into it, because I am very, very, very excited to read this chapter. Okay, let's see. We're getting into it right now. Okay, here we go. Dr. Stone. Yeah, we're starting off with Ryusui right here with Dr. Stone, Z equals 226, giant step, as Ryusui has somehow able to get into the rocket. Ryusui, you realized why we only had 3 people go into space is because we didn't think that it could handle 4, but it's fine. They all just clap their fingers, clap their hands together. It's great. Ryusui was able to achieve his dream of going into space, as you have Gin say, or in the full way. After much ado, dear Ryusui made it into space after all, as you just have Nikki's like, or, as he would put it, space is now his. Yes, I love Nikki so much. Though I must say, there's nothing coincidental about it, as you have Francois like, indeed, he anticipated this turn of events. Yeah, because I guess he was decided to allow for Stanley to take part in it, after Ryusui had already gone through some of the training. So yeah, it makes sense that he is probably one of the few that could actually go into space, even if it's not intentional. And it's like, even after he lost his seat on the rocket, Master Ryusui diligently kept up with his remaining training, because desire is noble. So yeah, it's very, okay, that's cool. So yeah, I guess okay, so I guess this is all taking place over a period of time, and I guess that because of that lack of knowledge, they were able to bring a spare disc up into the sky, up into the atmosphere, up into space. That's what I was looking for, but I couldn't think of it. So yeah, Ryusui hands them the thing that they need to be replaced, and it's like, this looks like the thing that got burnt and broken, as Stanley is like, yeah, the power supply circuit board, as we see Senku putting it in. It's like, much appreciated. No easier way to repair than swapping out the whole part. As you just have Zeno's like, an elegant gift, no? We were able to overhear your predicament. Our control team down on Earth pulled through. Ah, yes. As you just have Gein's like, huh, does it mean that Ryusui lent along for the ride? I love how Gin just came to this realization of, oh, so I guess he went up into space. Wait, what? Yeah, as you have Gin just coming to the realization, as Chelsea's like, riding all the way to the moon? Hype! And she's like, once petrified, I'll just be another piece of cargo, not an extra drain of life support resources. Oh, he's like, yeah, though it's going to be kind of cozy in here. As you just have sides just like, time to run the numbers again. There's plenty to recalculate. Yeah, because you added an extra person to the ship, an extra weight. So yeah, and as this is all going on, we're getting an explanation for what's going on by transmitting radio waves between ship and Earth. The ship's current position can be measured based on the transmission time. As we have Xenos like, those same waves also come with a Doppler effect, which allows us to measure the ship's current speed. As you just have Taiju's like, Dampler effect? The Doppler. Okay, I think I know what this is. It has to deal with like hearing. It has to deal with like noise, and how the further something is from your point, the weaker it sounds, but the closer that it gets to you, the louder it becomes. But then the farther away it gets, once it passes you, the weaker the sound becomes. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they're about to explain it. But yeah, I know that. Like I just see an example of it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what that is. So we have Chelsea explaining. It's like, you know how an ambulance, yeah, goes wee wee when it's racing towards you, but then moving away, the sound gets lower, like wow wow. I mean, yeah, that's the Doppler effect. Yeah. So position and speed, even with our astronauts off in space, we can keep track of their movements. Oh yeah. Oh, I know science. I know physics. Oh gosh, I know physics. As you have gains like, again with those waves. Useful little things, aren't they? Working for us in cell phones and microwaves, ovens too. As you have Ukyo, Yo, dang it, I keep forgetting the reporter's name as and Tsukasa just chiming in. Ukyo's like, right now, Senku and his friends are going 38,000 kilometers per hour. And it's like, 38,000 coming from Yo, as you have the reporters like, even airplanes only fly at about 1,000 kilometers per hour, right? As you have Tsukasa's like, indeed, spaceships are fastest vehicles created by mankind. Yeah. Oh, and they already petrified themselves inside of it. So that's very interesting. As they're traveling through space, everyone is working hard, researching, and it's like, whoosh, 3 days later, as everyone once again gets revived, as they look at where they are now, and they realize the spaceship is completed, and they're also at the moon. And it's like, it's really the moon. Look at that. We're so close now. As you have Ryusui looking out at the moon. I think that's Ryusui? Yeah, I think that, yeah, that is Ryusui. So he's looking at the moon. As you have, again, like, a sextant on the spaceship. The tool used for location when out at sea, coming from, oh gosh, I forgot his name. Oh my gosh, it's been so long that I forgot his name. But it's Ginryo. Yeah, it's Ginryo. Oh gosh, I was gonna say, oh, it's Ginryo's brother, Kinryo. Or it's one of the two, but as you also have Chrome's like, darn right, they can also use it in space. By glancing at the stars, they can figure out their position. As you just have Dear Suika's like, one of Chrome's flashes of inspiration. As Chrome's like, from me and Suika, the newbie science tag team. Oh gosh, I'm just looking at what happens. It's like an elegant, low-tech resolution solution employed by the early Apollo missions. Of course they already knew! But it's still amazing that such a primitive tool can help one navigate to the moon. Yeah. As you have Chrome, like, saying... Not Chrome, Xeno's, like, especially once they reach the far side of the moon, as their communication with Earth will be cut off. At that point, they'll rely on their own eyes and measurements to navigate through the looming void of space. Oh gosh, this is going to be... Oh, as you have our dear, lovable... Oh my gosh, her name is escaping me right now. Oh my gosh. Don't worry, I didn't forget her name. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting. Kawaku. There it is. Kawaku. Kawaku's like, the back of the moon is all bumpy and lumpy. As you have Senku's like, yep, we always see the same side of the moon from Earth, and besides any ugly mess, those craters are evidence of meteorite strikes, where for moon took a hit for the home planet. Oh, I wouldn't have known that. As you have Kawaku's like, ha! So without us even knowing it, the moon has been protecting the people of Earth. Oh, that's interesting. I never really knew that was possible. As you have Ryusu's like, huh. Now regarding which of us will step foot on that guardian deity, just in case the trip goes sideways and turns into a one-way suicide mission, the plan was to only send 3 folks in the lunar lander. As the space guy, I should hang back and command module and... Nope! The command module's mine. You're here representing the scientists of our new stone world. So you, Senku, will walk on the moon. Oh. Ha! Really, Risui, coming from Kahaku? Don't you desire the honor of stepping on the moon? Ha ha ha! I'm a captain first and foremost. 3 will walk on the moon, while only 1 steers the ship. Sure, I'd love to play every role, but if I gotta choose, I'm taking the more exclusive trophy. Am I wrong? Ah. As you just have him saying this, but he knows why. He knows that this is something that Senku would want, so he's allowing it to happen. It's like, sure, let's leave it at that then. As they're preparing to get in their astronaut suits, they're in it. They're about to head towards the moon, and they shoot off. Oh, we're getting to see the moon. Oh, they're about to land on the moon. It's like the whole world is watching and listening. Have we thought of some apt first words for this moon landing? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's coming for Gin. As Taiji's like, somehow I got one of them flashes of inspiration. Here's the perfect line for them to say. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Damn it, Taiji. Damn it, Taiji. Everybody's like, bad! How'd you come up with something so cool like that? Oh, gosh. And it's like, you're quoting dear Mr. Armstrong there, where his first words as the first human to walk on the moon coming from Gideon. I just like, dang it, sorry about that. Guess that's why the line was already in my noggin. As you have Crone's like, those first words ought to be nice and simple. The moon's bad. And coming from Chrome. As you have, oh gosh, we have the people from the island. I totally forgot their names. Now recruiting girlfriend cuties. Welcome. Of course he would say that. As you have Sai's like, achievement unlocked. First moon landing. Oh, that actually, I really like that one because that makes so much sense. As you have coming from Sai's Ukio's like, is this turning into some kind of improv? As you have Gaines like, I suppose it's up to our astronauts to decide, right? As you have Senku's like, never put much thought into it. Oh, you haven't? But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Oh gosh. And it's like, that said, compared to the landing in the 20th century, our lunar mission meaningful in a whole different way. Our lunar mission's meaningful in a whole nother way. As they're about to set foot on the moon, it's like, if we fail to beat Y-Man, humanity is doomed. Should we triumph over Y-Man? The secrets of the petrification are ours. Ooh. With all of humanity on the line, we're taking this first giant step into the battle for future science. So, boom! He lands on the moon. It's like, get excited as the chapter ends. Oh, so, in this new world, the first words to be said by the man that lands on the moon isn't one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. No, it's boom! Get excited! And don't worry, Senku, we are excited. So, I guess it's time to go into review mode for Dr. Stone. And overall, once again, Dr. Stone, good chapter. Has never been a bad chapter of Dr. Stone ever. Compare this to other manga where it's like bad chapter here, bad chapter there. No, Dr. Stone doesn't miss. Every chapter is good, if not great. And this falls in the really good category because, first of all, we got to get Ryusui interacting with the other candidates. For the most part, all of this is just the processes and the steps that needs to be taken to arrive at the moon. We get a little bit of explanation for how they're able to do that. We got the Doppler effect introduced into the story, which is something that I actually know, and it's a physics term, so hooray for science. It was just a lot of explanations for how they're able to keep track with the spaceship and how they were just going into the direction of the moon. Some information that I honestly didn't know about the moon, where the dark side of the moon is actually filled with craters from astronauts hitting it, but we wouldn't know it because the moon actually doesn't rotate. It actually just revolves around us, so we only see one side of it. So that's very cool. Something I never really put that much interest in. But also something else that we get to know is that we get to see that they are petrified during that 3-day journey, so they don't have to be up there for long, which actually allows them to save a fair amount of resources, which is cool. But also just the fact that they were able to get to the moon and they were able to decide who was actually going to land on the moon, and how Ryusui gave up his own spot to be the first man on the moon to Senku because he realizes that it's more important to Senku and that he's just being a nice guy. Even though he desires everything and he's a greedy capitalist, he's actually one of the good capitalists. Just remember that. He cares about people for once. So yeah, it just makes sense for Ryusui's character and the development that we have seen, and just the reference to the fact that they are actually landing on the moon and Neil Armstrong's first words being stated in this chapter just really shows how much Dr. Stone really cares about science, but even so, carving its own path by not just rehashing that one line of the line that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, but just doing something that is explicitly Dr. Stone, Senku, which is get excited. So I really enjoyed this chapter of Dr. Stone. Once again, thought it was a really amazing, really great chapter of Dr. Stone. Just has all of the things that make Dr. Stone a great story. Seeing the characters, seeing them interact, seeing the comedy, seeing the science, and seeing the story push forward. And the fact of the matter is that we are on the moon. So next chapter, we're potentially going to see them confront the Y-Man, or at the very least see a little bit more exploration of the moon. What would be very interesting if we were able to see all of the flags still on the moon and that they're all white as indications of like how much time has passed and how those different colors or the printing has faded. But it would be very cool to see that they are still there, and it could be sort of like a indication or a symbol of like the Y-Man potentially forfeiting at the end, if that is foreshadowing. I don't know. As far as we know, they could have just flown out into outer space or just, you know, ceased to exist. It would just be very cool to actually see if those are referenced. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about this chapter. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed my reaction. And did you think that this was a really good chapter of Dr. Stone? Leave your thoughts down in the comments down below. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified for whenever I upload more content like this. Do all that cool jazz. And hopefully I'll be able to catch you in my next video. Goodbye!